Bozeman. Good evening, Montana State University. It's an absolute honor and a privilege to be at this gathering of patriots. We're ready to fight for the values that make this nation great. We are thrilled to welcome President Donald J. Trump, a leader who has always put America first. My name is Austin Knudsen, not Matt, Austin. And it's my honor to serve as your elected Montana State Attorney
TLS,
General.
we had 67 viewers. It only said 35 on mine.
As the state's top law enforcement officer,
did we really have 67?
I've seen personally the hell
68
that Kamala
viewers.
Harris and Joe Biden unleashed in Montana when they flung the door at the southern border wide open. And folks, make no mistake, those border policies affect us right here in Montana. The cartel fentanyl flowing across our southern border has devastated families, it's devastated communities, it continues to devastate our state. This poison is now a full-scale epidemic, claiming Montana lives at an alarming rate. It has seeped into our communities, causing crime and lawlessness across the entire state. Folks, Kamala Harris and her newly announced lapdog, Tim Walz, will absolutely throw gasoline on this fire.
I will, TLS.
Tim Walz
Thank you,
let
TLS.
radical leftists take over the streets of Minneapolis, waiting for 3 days before he sent in the National Guard, while rioters smashed windows, looted businesses, and burned buildings. This is shameful. And then on top of that, Kamala Harris encouraged people to help bail out these rioters so they could go back to burning and looting and rioting. Tim Walz pretends he's just a normal guy from ho-hum, Minnesota. But there's nothing normal about him. Tim Walz is the most radical, far-left vice presidential candidate in U.S. history. Every single harmful policy imposed on us in the last 3 years under the Biden-Harris administration will be wrapped up to warp speed if Kamala Harris and Tim Walz get in the White House. He supports sanctuary states, sanctuary cities. He wants to use your hard-earned money for health care and college tuition for illegal aliens. And he thinks socialism is just being neighborly. Folks, we cannot afford to let Tim Walz haul his Minnesota garbage into Montana. And we cannot afford 6 more years of Jon Tester. The closer it is to Election Day, the more Jon Tester pretends to be a Republican. But Jon Tester is anything but conservative or even moderate. Tester votes with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden almost 100% of the time. He was the deciding vote against building the border wall and against permanent tax cuts. He opposed all of President Trump's Supreme Court nominees, but voted for every single one of Joe Biden's 200 judges. To help President Trump get our country back on the right path, we must elect Tim Sheehy to the U.S. Senate. Tim is a Navy SEAL combat veteran, a successful businessman, and he will truly fight for us and stand shoulder to shoulder with President Trump to secure our borders, combat the scourge of cartel drugs, and restore law and order in this country. Montanans, the importance of once again electing Donald Trump and finally retiring Jon Tester back to Big Sandy cannot be overstated. Montana and our country are at a crossroads, and the decisions we make now will determine our future for generations to come. We can, and we will, restore the greatness of this nation. Thank you for being here this evening. God bless Montana, God bless America, and let's get President Donald J. Trump reelected.